Vandeham Shigaro Shiyata Parakalam Shigarun Vaishnavam Sya Shirupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganutam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyanajana Shilakya Chakshurunvitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhishtam Sapuragam Guruganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Vedanipanam Shri Rupa Patanagam Govindabhidam Ujwalam Bharatanam Bhaktyan Bidam Sundaram Pande Vishwaguruncha Divyat Bhagavad Premna Vibija Pralam Devam Divyatanam Suchandavananam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Banditam Shubhadam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Vanshakopatarubyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Nama. So we're reading from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila chapter 3, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stay at the house of Adwaita Acharya. Text number 1. Nyasam vidayot pranayorta goro vrindavanam gant tvam gantu mana brahmadyaha radhe brahman shantipurim ayitva lalasa bhaktar iha tam natosmi. After accepting the sannyas order of life, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love for Krishna, wanted to go to Vrindavan, but apparently by mistake he wandered in Radha Desh. Later he arrived at Shantipur and enjoyed himself there with his devotees. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Adwaita Acharya Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Adwaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas Thakur. Chabi Shabat Sarasesha Jai Magamas Tara Shukla Pake Prabhu Korila Sannyas. At the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order during the waxing period of the moon. So the month of Magh is in January, and the waxing period is after the Amavasya. Sannyas kore primaveshe chalila brindavan radhe deshe tina dina korila brahman. After accepting the sannyas order, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love for Krishna, started for Vrindavan. However, he mistakenly wandered about in trance continuously for 3 days in a tract of land known as Radha Desh. And Radha Desh is on the western side of the Ganga. And that's in both the appearance place of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj. They're in Radha Desh on the western side of the Ganga. Vamanpar for Govinda Maharaj and Apaniya Guru Maharaj. The word Radha Desh comes from the word Rashtra or state. From Rashtra, the corrupted word Radha has come. The part of Bengal on the western side of the Ganges is known as Radha Desh. Another name is Pondra Desh or Pendu Desh. The word Pendo is a corrupted form of the word Pondra. It appears that the capital of Radha Desh was situated in that part of Bengal. Shloka Pariprabhu Bhavera Abeshe Ramite Pavitra Koila Sabradha Deshe. Passing through the tract of land known as Radha Desh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited the following verse in ecstasy. Etam sa astaya paratmanishtam adyasitam purvatamarer mahadbi aham tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundangre nishevayaiva. As a Brahmin from Avanti Desh said, I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, by Etam Sastaya Paratmanishtam Adyasitam Purvatamayer Mahadbi Ham Tarishyami Duranta Param Tamo Mukundangri Nashevayaiva. Here Mukunda refers to Krishna, as it says, I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Mukunda, or Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhu kohe sadhue bikora bachan mukunda seva brata koila nirdaran. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved the purport of this verse on account of the determination of the mendicant devotee to engage in the service of Lord Mukunda. He gave his approval of this verse, indicating that it was very good. And that's about one Brahmin from Avantipur. He renounces everything, becomes a sannyasi, but everyone in his family and all his friends deride him and insult him. But he is very determined in his service to the Lord. Paratmanishta matra beshadaran mukunda sevaya hoy samsarataran. The real purpose of accepting sannyas is to dedicate oneself to the service of Mukunda. By serving Mukunda, one can actually be liberated from the bondage of material existence. Sebe shakoila ebe brindavana giya Krishna nishevana kore nibritte vasya. After accepting the sannyas order, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Vrindavan and engage himself wholly and solely in the service of Mukunda in a solitary place. Eta bole chale Prabhu premon madera china dik bidik gyana nahi kiba ratri dina. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan, all the ecstatic symptoms became manifest, and he did not know in which direction he was going, nor did he know whether it was day or night. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was en route to Vrindavan, all the ecstatic symptoms became manifest, and he did not know in which direction he was going, nor did he know whether it was day or night. Nityananda Charya Ratna Bakunda Tinjan Prabhu Pache Pache Tine Korana Gaman. As Mahaprabhu went toward Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar, and Prabhu Mukunda followed him. Prabhu Mukunda is he's a close friend of Mahaprabhu. Jai Jai Prabhu Deke Se Lok Premaveshe Hari Bole Khande Dukha Shok. When Mahaprabhu passed through Radha Desh, whoever saw him in ecstasy exclaimed, Hari, Hari, as they chanted this with the Lord. All the unhappiness of material existence diminished. Gopa Balak Sab, Prabhu Ke Dekiya, Hari Hari Bole Dake, Ucha Koriya. All the cowherd boys who saw Mahaprabhu passing joined with him and began to shout loudly, Hari, Hari. Shunita Sabar Nikata Kela Gora Hari Bobo Bole Sabar Shire Hastadori. When he heard all the cowherd boys also chanting Hari Hari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased. He approached them, put his hand on their heads, and said, "Go on chanting like that." So when you put your hand on, when someone puts their hand on your head, it's giving blessings. So Mahaprabhu is giving blessings to all the boys who are chanting Hari Hari. Tasabar stuti kore tomara, and then he tells them, keep on chanting like that. Tasabar stuti kore tomara Bhagavan kritartha korile more shuna harinam. Mahaprabhu then blessed them all, saying that they were all fortunate. In this way he praised them, and he felt very successful because they chanted the holy name of Lord Hari. Gupdeta Sabake Ani Takura Nityananda Shikaila Sabakare Korea Prabandha. Calling all the boys in confidence and telling a reasonable story, Nityananda Prabhu instructed them as follows. Vrindavana Pata Prabhu Puchina Tomare Gangatira Pata Tabe Dekaila Tare. If Mahaprabhu asks you about the path to Vrindavan, please show him the path on the bank of the Ganges instead. So Nityananda tells everyone, if Mahaprabhu asks which way it is to Vrindavan, point him towards the Ganga. Tabi Prabhu Puchilena Shuna Sishugan Kohadeki Konpate Jaba Vrindavan Sishugab Sishu Sab Gangatira Pata Dekaila Sepate Aveshe Prabhu Gamana Korela. When the cowherd boys were questioned by Mahaprabhu about the path to Vrindavan, the boys showed him the path on the bank of the Ganges, and the Lord went that way in ecstasy. So they're pointing him towards the. Mahaprabhu was asking which way to Vrindavan, and they're pointing the path that goes to the Ganga. Acharya Ratnare Kohe Nityananda Gosai Shigra Jaha Tumi Adwaita Acharya. As the Lord proceeded along the bank of the Ganges, or towards the bank of the Ganges, Sri Nityananda Prabhu asked Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhar Acharya to go immediately to the house of Adwaita Acharya. As the Lord proceeded along the bank of the Ganges, Sri Nityananda Prabhu asked Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhar Acharya to go immediately to the house of Adwaita Acharya. Prabhu loye jab ami tahara mandire sabadane rohenjena noka loyatire. Sri Nityananda Prabhu told him, I shall take Mahaprabhu to the bank of the Ganges at Shantipur, and Adwaita Acharya should carefully stay there on shore with a boat. Tabe Nabadwip tumi Korea Gaman Sachi Saha Loha Aisha Saba Bhaktagan. So Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas from my memory goes blank, but he took from Kesha Bharati, and that was near Katwa, and then they're taking Mahaprabhu towards toward Adwaita Acharya's house in Shantipur, so they're going from Katwa down to Shantipur. Tabe Nabadwip tumi Korea Gaman Sache Saha Loya Aisha Saba Bhaktagan. After that, Nityananda Prabhu continued, I shall go to Adwaita Acharya's house, and you should go to Nabadwip and return with Mother Sachi and all the other devotees. So Mahaprabhu is going, after taking sannyas, he wants to go to Vrindavan. But Nityananda Prabhu wants Mahaprabhu to meet with all the devotees at Adwaita Acharya's house. So he has everyone who Mahaprabhu will ask about the way to Vrindavan to point them towards to the Ganga near going towards Shantipur. After that, Nityananda Prabhu continued, I shall go to Adwaita Acharya's house and you should go to Nabadwip and return with Mother Sachi and all the other devotees. So this will be Mahaprabhu's, after taking sannyas, this will be Mahaprabhu's meeting with all the devotees and say goodbye to them. They will say goodbye to him rather. But Mahaprabhu doesn't know of Nityananda Prabhu's plan. Tare pataya Nityananda Mahashai Mahaprabhu Agayashi Dila Parichai. After sending Acharya Ratna to the house of Adwaita Acharya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu went before Mahaprabhu and gave notice of his coming. Prabhu kohe Sripad Tomar Kotake Gaman Sripad kohe Tomara Sange Java Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy and he asked where Nityananda Prabhu was going. Nityananda Prabhu replied that he was going with him toward Vrindavan. So there's some question of whether Mahaprabhu's in ecstasy. And some persons have commented that even though he knows Nityananda Prabhu intimately, he still says Sripad, which is a term for a sannyasi, where are you going? So there is question of whether Mahaprabhu in his ecstasy recognizes Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy and he asked where Nityananda Prabhu was going. Nityananda Prabhu replied that he was going with him toward Vrindavan. Prabhu kohe kata dure ache Vrindavan, teho kohen kora e jamuna darshan. When the Lord asked Nityananda Prabhu how far it was to Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu replied, just see, here's the river Jamuna. Of course, it's the Ganga, but he says, just see, here's the river Jamuna. Etabole anilatare Ganga sanidane, abeshe prabhur hoila Gangare Jamuna gyane. Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu took Mahaprabhu near the Ganges, and the Lord in his ecstasy accepted the river Ganges as the river Jamuna. Aho bhagya Jamunare Pailundara Shan Etabole Jamunara Korana Staban. The Lord said, oh, what good fortune! Now I have seen the river Jamuna. Thus thinking the Ganges to be the river Jamuna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to offer prayers to it. He began offering prayers to the Jamuna. Chidananda Bano Sarananda Shuno Paraprema Patri Drava Brahmagatri Aganam Lavitri Jagat Shemavdatri Pavitri Kriya Novapur Mitra Putri. O river Jamuna, you are the blissful spiritual water that gives love to the son of Nanda Maharaj. You are the same as the water of the spiritual world, for you can vanquish all our offenses and the sinful reactions incurred in life. You are the creator of all auspicious things for the world. O daughter of the sun god, kindly purify us by your pious activities. Itabole namaskori koila ganga snan ekopinanahi dvitiya paridan. After reciting this mantra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisances and took his bath in the Ganges. At that time, he had only one piece of underwear, for there was no second garment. So, in other words, Mahaprabhu goes into the river and all his clothes become wet. Hinakale Acharya Gosai Nokate Chariya Aila Nutana Kopin Bahirbasaloya. While Mahaprabhu was standing there without a second garment, Sri Adwaita Acharya arrived in a boat, bringing with him new underwear and a sannyas dhoti. It says Bahirvas. A sannyas dhoti is different than a regular dhoti, so here they refer to that garment as Bahirvas. So in other words, Adwaita Acharya comes in a boat and he has dry clothes for Mahaprabhu. Age Acharya se rohila namaskara kori Acharya deki bole Prabhu mane samshaya kori. When Adwaita Acharya arrived, he stood before the Lord and offered him obeisances. After seeing him, the Lord began to wonder about the entire situation. So first, Nityananda Prabhu arrives before Mahaprabhu and tells him this is the way to Vrindavan and shows him the Ganga. So Mahaprabhu accepts that, but now Adwaita Acharya appears in a boat and Mahaprabhu is wondering what about the entire situation. Tumita Acharya Gosai etakeni aila ame Vrindavane tumi kemate janila. Still in his ecstasy, the Lord asked Adwaita Acharya, why did you come here? How did you know that I was in Vrindavan? Acharya kohe tumi jahan se Vrindavan morabhagyeg gangatire tomara agaman. Adwaita Acharya disclosed the whole situation, telling Mahaprabhu, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. Now it is my great fortune that you have come here to the bank of the Ganges. Prabhu kohe Nityananda mare banshila ganga ke aniya more jamuna kohila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, Nityananda has cheated me. He has brought me to the bank of the Ganges and told me that it was the Jamuna. Acharya kohe mitya nahe Sripad bachan Jamuna te snana tume korela ekan. When Mahaprabhu accused Nityananda of cheating him, Srila Adwaita Acharya said, whatever Nityananda Prabhu has told you is not false. You have indeed just now taken your bath in the river Jamuna. Gangaya Jamuna Bahe Hina Ekdar Paschime Jamuna Cha Bahe Purve Gangadar. Adwaita Acharya then explained that at that spot the Ganges and Jamuna flow together. On the western side was the Jamuna, and on the eastern side was the Ganges. The Jamuna and the Ganges and the Jamuna mix at the confluence of Allahabad, Prayag. The Yamuna flows from the western side and the Ganges from the eastern, and they merge. Since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed on the western side, he actually took his bath in the river Jamuna. So far upstream, near Prayag, the Jamuna and the Ganga join together, and then they flow. It's one river. The Jamuna comes in from the west, and the Ganges from the east. So Mahaprabhu had taken his bath on the western side of the Ganga. So then Adwaita Acharya says, Nityananda Prabhu didn't cheat you because on the western side is where the Jamuna water comes in from. So you took your bath in Jamuna water. Paschime dare Jamuna bahe tahan koile snan, ardra kopina chadi, shuska kora paridan. Adwaita Acharya then suggested that since Mahaprabhu had taken his bath in the river Jamuna and his garments were now wet, the Lord should change his underwear for dry garments. So he brought him a dhoti and sannyas dhoti and underwear, so he offers to Mahaprabhu that dry garments. Premavesh tindin acha upavas ajimora garibika chala morabas. Adwaita Acharya said, "You have been fasting continuously for 3 days in your ecstasy of love for Krishna. I therefore invite you to my home, where you may kindly take your alms. Come with me to my residence." So Adwaita Acharya says, "You've been fasting for 3 days, and my home is near here. So you please come and take something. You take some food." Alms here refers. He says, "Bika." It means, "You please take something to eat at my home." Eka mushti anamui korijachum pak shukaruka yanshan koilun shupa arashak. Adwaita Acharya continued, "At my home I have just cooked 1 palmful of rice. The vegetables are always very simple. There is no luxurious cooking. Simply a little liquid vegetable and spinach." So here the word it says soup, and soup, the same word as in English. Soup means soup, and shak means spinach. So some liquid vegetable that we'll say that soup, and shak. Very simple. Etabolin nokak, or etaboli nokaya chanaya nila nijagar para prakalana koila ananda antar. Saying this, Sri Adwaita Acharya took the Lord into the boat and brought the Lord to his residence. There Adwaita Acharya washed the feet of the Lord and was consequently very happy within. Pratame pak kore jachan acharjani Vishnu samarpana koila acharja apani. All the eatables were first cooked by the wife of Adwaita Acharya. Then Srila Adwaita Acharya personally offered everything to Lord Vishnu. Acharjani. Adwaita Acharya's wife had cooked everything, and then everything had been offered to Vishnu. Most likely Shalagram Shila in half. Teen Thai Boga Bandaila Samakori Krishnera Boga Padaila Datu Patropari. All the prepared food was divided into 3 equal parts. 1 part was arranged on a metal plate for offering to Lord Krishna. So Batisha Atiya Kalar Angatiya Pate Duitai Boga Badaila Balo Mate. Of the 3 divisions, 1 was arranged on a metal plate and the other 2 were arranged on plantain leaves, banana leaves. These leaves were not bifurcated and they were taken from a banana tree that held at least 32 bunches of bananas. The 2 plates were filled very nicely with the kinds of food described below. So 1 plate for offering to the Lord, to Vishnu, a metal plate. and 2 banana leaf plates, but very big banana leaf plates. Madhya pita grita shikta sayanera stub charidike bhyanjana dunga ara mugda shup. The cooked rice was a stack of very fine grains, nicely cooked, and in the middle was yellow clarified butter, ghee, from the milk of cows. Surrounding the stack of rice were pots made of the skins of banana leaves, and in these pots were varieties of vegetables and moong dal. So the rice, on the rice was, of course, ghee. And how will you have ghee if you don't have cows? So, the cooked rice was a stack of very fine grains, nicely cooked, and in the middle was yellow clarified butter, ghee, from the milk of cows. Surrounding the stack of rice were pots made of the skins of banana trees, and in 3 pots were varieties of vegetables and moong dal. Sardranka bastuka shak Vivida prakar pato kushmanda bari manakara ar sandraka bastuka shak Vivida prakar patola kushmanda bari manakachuar. Among the cooked vegetables were partals, squash, manakachu, and a salad made with pieces of ginger and various types of spinach. Chayim maricha shukta diya sab phala mule amrita nindaka pancha bibida tikta jale. There was shukta, bitter melon mixed with all kinds of vegetables, defying the taste of nectar. There were 5 kinds of bitter and pungent shuktas. So shukta can be bitter melon and green plantain and eggplant and green papaya and like this cooked. And there, the bitter melon is bitter, but shukta can also be made with, shukta in general means bitter, so it can also be made with neem leaves. So there are different kinds of shuktas. Komala nimba patra sabbaja bartaki patola fula bori baja kushmanda manachaki. Among the various vegetables were newly grown leaves of neem trees fried with eggplant. The fruit known as porto was fried with fulabari, a kind of dal preparation, first mashed and then dried in the sun. There was also a preparation known as kushmanda manachaki. So here it refers to full of bori. Now, bori is pieces of dal that are dried in the sun, and then they put in with the vegetable. Narikela, sasya chana, sharkara madhur, mochaganta, dugda, kushmanda, sakala prachur. The preparation made with coconut pulp mixed with curd and rock candy was very sweet. There is a curry made of banana flowers and squash boiled in milk, all in great quantity. So mochaganta. Made from banana flowers. Madhur amla bora, amladi pancha chai, sakala bhyanjana koila, lokejata hoy. There were small cakes in sweet and sour sauce and 5 or 6 kinds of sour preparations. All the vegetables were so made that everyone present could take prasadam. They were cooked nice quantity. Mudga bora, kola bora, mashabora mishta, kirapuli narikela, jata bita ishna. There were soft cakes made with moong dal, soft cakes made with ripe bananas, and soft cakes made with urad dal. There were various kinds of sweetmeats, condensed milk mixed with rice cakes, a coconut preparation, and every kind of cake desirable. So here's rice. These cakes are little patties, and then they're fried, usually. Batisha Atiya Kalar Dunga Bora Batisha Atiya Kalar Doga Bar Bar Chale Hale Nahi Doga Ati Baradar. All the vegetables were served in pots made of banana leaves taken from trees producing at least 32 bunches of bananas. So there are also pots for holding liquids made from banana leaves. These pots were very strong and big and did not tilt or totter. Panchasha doga gyanjane parinya tina bogera ashe pashe rokila darinya. All around the 3 eating places were 100 pots filled with various kinds of vegetables. Shakrita Payasa Nabamrit Kundika Barinya Tinpatre Gandavarta Dugda Rokete Dariya. Along with the various vegetables was sweet rice mixed with ghee. This was kept in new earthen pots. Earthen pots filled with highly condensed milk were placed in 3 places. Dugda Chira, Kala Ara, Dugda Lucky, Jateka Korila Taha, Kohite Nashaki. Besides the other preparations, there were chipped rice made with milk and mixed with bananas, and also white squash boiled in milk. Indeed, it is not possible to describe all the preparations that were made. Dugda Chira. Chira, it says here, chip rice, but chira is actually like rice flakes, like you have corn flakes, or like Wheaties, those kind of flakes. And chira is like rice flakes. It's like, and it's, chira is first washed and then soaked with rice so that it soaked with water so that it becomes soft. And then here it says dugda chira. There's chira mixed with milk. Besides the other preparations, there was chira made with milk and mixed with bananas, and also white squash boiled in milk. Indeed, it is not possible to describe all the preparations that were made. So Govinda Maharaj described that when he was living in Bamanpar, his family was a Brahmin family, but most of the people living near Bamanpar were all cowherd persons. So the Govinda Maharaj's family is Brahmins, but the cowherd boys are Vaishyas. So who's not a Brahmin cannot cook for a Brahmin. So they would serve either chira, or they would serve also puff rice, which is muri, chira and muri, with yogurt or milk, with bananas and gur. So this is like that. Besides the other preparations, there was chira made with milk and mixed with bananas, and also white squash boiled in milk. Indeed, it is not possible to describe all the proper preparations that were made. Dui pashe darila sab mrit kundika bori chanpakala dadi sandesh kohite napari. In 2 places there were earthen pots filled with another preparation made with yogurt, sandesh, a sweetmeat made with curd, and banana. I am unable to describe it all. So like that, maybe there's misti doi, that they're serving some yogurt also. Anavyanjano pare dila tulasi manjare tinjala patre subhasita jalabari. Upon the stack of boiled rice and all the vegetables were flowers of the tulsi tree. There were also pots filled with scented rose water. So, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj has written, and it's describing events that were occurring during the time of Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. But in Bengal, you can still find that all these preparations are still made. That's why it's very good if the devotees learn to cook these preparations, because they are the preparations that were cooked during the time of Mahaprabhu and are still cooked in Bengal, like shukta and all these other things. They are still making these preparations.
The other day, Brinda made mochakanda here.
Huh?
Brinda made mochakanda here.
Yes.
The banana flowers and everything.
Tin shubra pita tara upare basan erupe sakat krishne koraila bojan. There were 3 sitting places where soft cloths were placed. Thus Lord Krishna was offered all the food, and the Lord took it very pleasantly. So it's said there's 1 metal plate, and that was used to offer to the Lord. And then there are 2 plates with banana leaves and all the preparations that were meant for Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Those 2 banana leaf plates. Abatira kole dui Prabhu Rabo Laila Prabhu Sange Sabayashi Arati Dekila. It is a system after offering food to perform Bogarti. So first the food is offered, everything's offered, then Bogarti happens, noon arti. Adwaita Prabhu asked the 2 brothers, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, to come see the arti. The 2 lords and all others present went to see the arti ceremony. Arati Koriya Krishna Korila Koraila Shayan Acharya se Prabhure Tabe Koila Nivedan. After arti was performed for the deities in the temple, Lord Krishna was made to lie down to rest. Adwaita Acharya then came out to submit something to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Grihera Bitare Prabhu Karuna Gaman Dui Bai Aila Tabe Korite Bojan. Sri Adwaita Prabhu said, My dear lords, kindly enter this room. The 2 brothers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, then came forward to take the prasadam. Mukunda Haridas Dui Prabhu Bolaila Joda Hate Duijan Kohite Lagila. When Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu went to accept the prasadam, they both called Mukunda and Haridas to come with them. However, Mukunda and Haridas, both with folded hands, spoke as follows. Mukunda kohe morakichu kritya nahi sare pache mui prasad pamud tumi jahagare. When Mukunda was called for, he submitted, My dear Lord, I have something to do that is not yet finished. Later I shall accept the prasadam, so you 2 Prabhus should now please enter the room. Haridas kohe. And entering the room, normally a room is made which is adjacent to the kitchen, so everything can be served hot. there. Haridas kohemwe papishta araman bahire ek mushti pache koremu bojan. Haridas Thakur said, I am the most sinful and lowest among men. Later I shall eat one palmful of prasadam while waiting outside. Dui Prabhu Loya Acharya Gela Bhitar Gare Prasadekiya Prabhur Ananda Antare. Adwaita Acharya took Lord Nityananda and Mahaprabhu within the room, and the two lords saw the arrangement of the prasadam. Mahaprabhu especially was very pleased. Aichayana Jai Krishna Ke Koraya Bojan Janme Janme Shire Darun Tahara Charan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved of all the methods employed in cooking and offering food to Krishna. Indeed, he was so pleased that he said, frankly, I will personally take the lotus feet of anyone who can offer Krishna such nice food and place those lotus feet on my head, birth after birth. Prabhu Jane Tin Bhog Krishnera Naivedya Acharjera Mana Kata Nahe Prabhura Vedya. When Mahaprabhu entered the room, he saw 3 divisions of food, and he knew that all these were meant for Krishna. However, he did not understand the intentions of Adwaita Acharya. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur states that one of these servings was offered in a metal dish and was meant for Krishna, whereas the other 2 were placed on big banana leaves. The offering on the metal plate was personally offered by Adwaita Acharya to Krishna. The other 2 servings on banana leaves were to be accepted by Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. That was Adwaita Acharya's intention. But he did not disclose this to Mahaprabhu. Thus, when Mahaprabhu saw the food offered in 3 places, he thought that it all was meant for Krishna. And also because what will be served on the banana leaves is big quantities also. Prabhu Bole Vaishatine Koriye Baujan Acharya Kohe Ame Koriba Pariveshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, let us sit down in these 3 places and we shall take prasadam. However, Adwaita Acharya said, I shall distribute the prasadam. Konstane Basiba Ara Anaduipat Alpakori Anitahe Dehabhyanjan Bhat. Mahaprabhu thought that all 3 servings were meant for distribution. Therefore, he asked for another 2 banana leaves, saying, let us have a very little quantity of vegetable and rice. Acharya kohe maisha dohe pindera upare etabole hate dore basaila duhare. Adwaita Acharya said, just sit down here on these seats. Catching their hands, he sat them down. Prabhu kohe sannyasira bhakya nahi upakaran iha koile kaiche hoy indriya baran. Mahaprabhu said it is not proper for a sannyasi to eat such a variety of foods. If he does, how can he control his senses? Acharya kohe chadatumi apanara churi amisab jane tomar sannyasera bari buri. When Mahaprabhu did not accept the food that had already been served, Adwaita Acharya said, please give up your concealment. I know what you are and I know the confidential meaning of your accepting the sannyas order. Bhojana koraha chada bachana chaturi prabhu kohe eta ana kaitena pari. Adwaita Acharya thus requested Mahaprabhu to eat and give up juggling words, and the Lord replied, I certainly cannot eat so much food. Acharya bole akapate koraha ahar chadi kaitena para pate rahivekar. Adwaita Acharya then requested the Lord to simply accept the prasadam without pretense. If he could not eat it all, the balance could be left on the plate. Prabhu bole eta ana nariva kaite sannyasera dharma nahi uchishta rahite. Mahaprabhu said, I will not be able to eat so much food, and it is not the duty of a sannyasi to leave remnants. Acharya bole nilachale kau chanjana bar ekbariana kau shata bar. In this connection, Adwaita Acharya referred to Mahaprabhu's eating at Jagannath Puri. Lord Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are identical. Adwaita Acharya pointed out that at Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu ate 54 times a day, and each time he ate many hundreds of pots of food. So much is offered to the Lord Jagannath at Puri, that there in Mahaprabhu's in Shantipur, but Adwaita Acharya says, in Puri you eat 54 times a day and so many pots of food. So, Tin Janara Bhakya Pinda Tomara Ek Gras, Daralekaya E Ananahi Panchagras. Sri Adwaita Acharya said, the amount of food that 3 people can eat does not constitute even a morsel for you. In proportion to that, these edibles are not even 5 morsels of food for you. So Mahaprabhu said, you've served so much, how can I possibly eat that much? And then Adwaita Acharya says, when Jagannath Puri you're offered prasadam 54 times a day, many hundreds of pots of food. So what I've cooked is not very much. You can eat this easily. Morabhagye moragare tomaragaman charaha chaturi prabhu koraha bhojan. Adwaita Acharya continued, by my great fortune you have just come to my home. Please do not juggle words, just begin eating and do not talk. So I'm actually going to stop here. I've been reading for about an hour.
I didn't know Maharaj.
Okay, so, and yeah, I haven't really done any readings for a long time because I was
Traveling.
ill and lazy.
No, you were traveling, you were tired and you fall.
So tomorrow I will begin at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 o'clock in the morning. We started at 9. It was very late.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll sing Hari Harai, and then we'll finish the class. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Ravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Mananaman Giridhari Gopinatha Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Adwaita Chandra Garadhara Shiva Sari Gora Bhaktivinoda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raguna Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Raguna Shiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Raguna Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Echai Gosai Jahoite Vignanashamista Puran. Jahoite Vignanashamista Puran. Echai Gosai Jar Muitaradas. Echai Gosai Jar Muitaradas. Tasabar Para Renu Mora Panchagras. Tasabar Para Renu Mora Panchagras. Pader Chanana Sevi Bhatta Sanibas. Pader Chanana Sevi Sanibas. Janame Janame More Abilas. Janame Janame More Abilas. Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas. Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash. Nitya Lila Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Shri Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Anande Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjayaman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjayaman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas. Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narothamudas. Harinam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Girirani Jo Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Niri Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Tara Sarasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Tara Sarasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshira Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga ki jai. Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhadadash Raghunath Shadgo Swami Prabhu ki jai. Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adwaita Acharya Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat ki jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu ki jai. Vishvavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Sri Nabadwip Dham ki jai. Sri Mayapur ki jai. Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Saparshada Srimad Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Kuladvip ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram ki jai. Ganga Devi ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Guna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki jai. Shri Purushottam Dham ki jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ju ki jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsingadev ki jai. Bhakta Pravara Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.
Okay. Yeah, just push finish.